What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We are absolutely blown away how popular this abandoned Lancer series is. Last week's video was a huge hit and one of our most successful videos yet, so if you haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out. In this video, we plan to start taking the car apart, getting it ready for a sick paint job that we have planned, and since we have fallen in love with this car for some strange reason, we plan to give it a quick tune-up. She runs really good even though she's been sitting for 4 years, but we kind of feel bad for her neglect, so we're going to get her running much better.
Alright, so we already started removing some of the stuff, like we got the windshield wiper, all this stuff off, and I was going to buy this weather stripping because the other one's starting to look a little old and faded, but you can't buy it. So I had to be real careful and take it off. Got it stored up here, but a lot of the clips were so dry rotted they broke. So we're going to have to find out where we can get some of those at. So let's get the hood popped, start taking off some more stuff like the headlights, tail lights, mirror, some of the badging, and just get the car ready and the front bumper, get it ready for paint. All right, so Tyler's gonna start on the headlights. We built this table last week. That way we can kind of keep everything organized. We're gonna just stack it all on here, and that way we can just kind of roll it back in the corner. I think that's gonna be our best way. I guess go ahead and get these two bolts out. We'll see what all else is connecting it.
Alright, before we take the headlights out, we have to remove the bumper. There's one bolt on each side and we already got that started. And then there's one bolt here and one bolt there. First you have to clip this out. And then remove those two bolts. And then when we take the headlight out, we're gonna label the wiring because we don't want to get confused when putting the high beam and low beam on, so that'll help us out a lot.
Yeah, when we did the Tacoma, it was a 50-50 shot of where the low beam and high beam wires went. So now we're just gonna label that because it may be several weeks before we put this back together, and it's kind of hard to remember that kind of stuff. So it's best to label everything.
Alright, I think that was the last bolt.
There's probably one more. It's always one more bolt. Let's try it though. Make sure no wires are connected. Alright, that's good. We can set it over here. So now we should be able to get to the headlights. See, they had a bolt right here, so there's no way you could do the headlights without taking the bumper off. So we get the headlights next, then we'll move to the back. We're not gonna have to label this because it's 3 different style connectors, so you can't mess it up. The Tacoma, all 3 of them is pretty much the same, so it's kind of hard to figure out which went where, so we good here. All right, let's move to the back and get the tail lights and some of the badging off.
All right, moving on to the back, we're gonna remove the tail lights, and I think it should only be these 2 bolts.
And then when we're back here, we might as well do all the badging. We got all this, get that off.
And then you think we should, when we take this off, put this on our tank?
If it'll fit, this is flat, but I like Raging Cajuns over in Lafayette, so we'll try to put it on our tank with our collection over there. So let's knock this out and keep moving.
We got the tail lights and all the badging removed from the back. We got the seats removed, and there's still a lot of trash and dog hair. So does anyone know any good methods to get the hair out of the carpet? But then we still have to remove the side mirror, the door handles, but we'll do that a little bit later.
And then this trim right here. But right now we're gonna work on doing a tune-up. Car runs great, but we're gonna do, probably should wash the engine first, but we're gonna do spark plugs, coil packs, wires, change oil, change the air filter and the cabin air filter. So let's get this engine cleaned up first, and then we'll do all this. Engine bay's a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's 1,000 times better than what it was. It had dirt daubers all over the place, wasp nest. So it's a huge improvement. That way a lot of junk don't fall down in the spark plug holes when we take those out. So let's get it over here, get it on the ramps, and that way we can change the oil. I think we might have took the seats out a little too early. I'm having to drive around on this stool. But it's gonna work. Can barely fit in here. My head's hitting the ceiling. At least it still runs after washing it down. I usually have pretty bad luck whenever I try to wash an engine. Something always messes up.
Alright guys, this is the next day. We still have a few parts that need to come in. Amazon says they should be delivered by tonight. And so we're going to start off with the oil change and see where we go from there.
Yeah, so we got the spark plugs in, and then we got 2 boots with wires, but the other 2 has coil packs on top of them, and they didn't come in yet. Hopefully they'll come in, because I'd like to do all this in this one video instead of splitting it up. So let's start on the oil change and get that knocked out. I'm going with, for the first oil change, I'm gonna just go cheap with Super Tech and a Fram. I know this is probably the worst, but I normally use this stuff. I didn't want to use this on the first oil change. So we're gonna put this in, run it for a while, and then we'll change it with the good stuff. All right, Tyler just noticed that somebody drew an arrow on the oil drain bolt to let him know which way to turn it. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign. I guess it means somebody was doing their own maintenance and they didn't know which way to turn it. But that kind of worries me. If they have that kind of inexperience, that the oil filter may be on super tight and we're gonna have to break that loose. Oh, you're getting it all over you. Just drop it down. You could leave it in there. Here, I'll get you a rag. At least it wasn't on too tight. Was it tight or loose?
It was pretty loose.
All right, clean up and then put a little oil around this gasket. Like get one of the drips and you put it all around the gasket, then screw it back on. All
All right, Tyler's gonna put oil in it, but I just happened to notice these rollers. Got them on the front, and I didn't have a clue what this was. So I looked it up, and it's something that Mitsubishi puts that if you get in a wreck, it'll help you roll over, whatever. I thought that was kind of strange. I doubt it works, but they put it on there, and I've never seen that on a car before. So we're gonna put about 4 quarts. So you're gonna put it to about this level.
Okay.
Then we'll crank it up and check it. Do you know what the W stands for on 10W30?
I think it means weight.
Nope. Everybody thinks that means weight, but that actually means winter. 10, winter, 30. So these are both viscosity numbers, 10 and 30. So in the winter, or when your engine's cold, it's a 10. Then when your engine heats up, or in the summer, it becomes a viscosity of 30.
I'm gonna have to Google that after this video.
You can Google it, I'm telling you the truth. Everybody thinks it's weight, but it's actually winter. So just pour a little bit and then double check it. Almost. We did a good bit of work last night. Got all the badging off. Got these were pretty tough to get off. They actually have one screw holding it. Then you have to kind of slide a little bit, then pick it up, but it was super tough. Got the mirrors off. Got the side markers off. So that's pretty much everything that needs to come off. This antenna, we're gonna do an antenna delete. So you get rid of this, then you put a shark fin over that. So it's gonna be a bigger piece that looks just like this, but it's gonna be a little bigger. But you get rid of this hideous looking thing. Still gotta order a little clip, a spring, because this is not wanting a spring. So we still have a few things. Our rest of the stuff didn't come in on Amazon, so we're gonna have to do that in another video. And what else? Need to see where we get some of these clips at. Does anybody know if this is pretty easy to take off and then put back in? Or is it pretty much destroyed and you can't replace it? I would hate to have to tape right here and then paint. I'd like to take this off too, but I don't know how that works. Same with the back. I guess the back will just come out. I just don't know if you could buy a replacement. And if I'm gonna destroy it, taking it out. Oh, and one other thing I forgot. We ordered this. So far, everything with this car that we thought was something major, like the transmission and all that, it's turned out to be something super simple. Take this key out. So we didn't think the air conditioner worked. This knob is broken, and it was broken toward the heat. So it was making it blow hot. Let me get back out. It was blowing hot, so we thought the AC didn't work. I mean, being this old, didn't think anything wrong with that. But coming to find out, it was just this. This was like 10 bucks, found it on eBay. I'll put the link below because I'm pretty sure these break pretty often. So if you need them, you'll know where to get them at.
Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. We hope to get started painting this car soon. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Swamp Boys Garage so get quicker updates between our videos. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.